What's going on, everyone? It's UFC 311 fight weekend. Today we need to talk about this co-main event. Merab Dvalishvili is taking on Umar Nurmagomedov. This is definitely my most anticipated fight on this card because I honestly don't know who's going to win. And that's just because both of these guys are so elite. I mean, Umar Nurmagomedov, yes, he hasn't fought a bunch of big names. His biggest win is obviously Corey Sandhagen, but that's a pretty good one. And yes, he hasn't fought a ton of high-level opponents, but we see the skills. We know where he's from. We know what his team is about. The guy's probably really good. And then on Merab Dvalishvili, we see something completely different. This is a guy that had to fight pretty much everybody to get to the top, including Petr Yan, Jose Aldo, and many, many more. And he now seems to be in a position where he has to defend his title just 4 months after getting it against a dangerous, undefeated Dagestani fighter. And he's not hiding his emotions whatsoever. I mean, this dude does not like Umar for whatever reason. Honestly, I don't know if Umar's really said anything that was that bad. I mean, there was nothing that really should have gotten Merab this pissed, but the dude is angry, and that's either going to work for him really well or be his downfall. So how do these two exactly match up against each other? Well, we know that they're both wrestlers and that they love wrestling. I mean, Merab, this guy will be relentless from start to finish. He will go takedown after takedown, and he will not stop. While Umar, yes, he's going to go for his takedowns, definitely, but he has other aspects to his game that he also can use and I think will use in this fight. Like his striking, for example. I mean, he arguably could be the best striker out of all of the fighters from that Khabib camp, the Nurmagomedov family. Maybe his brother Usman is the only one I think that might be a bit better in the striking, but Umar is really, really good. Great question mark kicks from the front foot and the back foot, and also just a very good striker overall. And then when you take a look at Merab, that's probably where the weak spot is in his game. Like, his striking just has never been the best. He leaves his chin out a lot, and he's just very easy to hit, in my opinion. But the reason guys don't do too well against him is because there's always the threat of that takedown, and he will land it eventually because the dude is going to at least try 20 times for it if he doesn't get it. So I think that's something Umar is going to try to use to his advantage in this fight. I think he would much prefer to keep this fight on the feet because at the end of the day, he's not really going to be worried about a takedown threat because he trusts himself on the ground to do what he needs to do if he does get taken down. And Merab, I think he is going to try and force this to the ground because that's his bread and butter. And he even has to know that standing on the feet with Umar is not going to go well. Just like against Sean O'Malley, you don't want to stand on the feet with these guys who are great at kicking and great at managing their distance. So I think Merab's definitely going to be hunting for the takedowns. The question is, will he get them? Honestly, in straight up wrestling between these two, I probably favor Merab, which is crazy because we all know Umar, the Dagestanis, they're the best at that stuff. But Merab, he's different, man. His cardio is out of this world. I don't think anybody has better cardio than him in the UFC. The pace he puts on for 25 minutes is what makes him so good. That's definitely his biggest strength. And I think it would be in his best interest to get this one to the ground because honestly, if he keeps this one on the feet, I think he could get knocked out. So Merab's biggest tool is definitely his cardio, and I would say Umar's biggest tool is their striking. The question is, how will it actually play out when they fight? I think Umar, honestly, is going to find his way with Merab in the first couple of rounds. I think that Umar, he's going to assert his dominance. Merab is going to go out there and try and take him down instantly. I can almost guarantee that, but I think Merab might get stuffed on the first couple of attempts, and Umar is going to find his way on the feet. He's going to be picking apart Merab, but it's not going to be anything crazy. Merab's going to clinch up a lot, and he's not going to do a ton of damage in those first 2 rounds. And then later on, as the fight goes on, I understand Umar has good cardio, but I don't think it's Merab's. I think that's when Merab can take control of this fight. I think eventually, after Umar stuffing Merab's takedowns, draining a lot of his own energy, trying to knock him out, I think that Merab can have his way. Eventually, his takedowns are going to land, and he's going to be able to control Umar. Umar may threaten with some submissions from his back, but honestly, I think he's going to be more focused on getting out of those positions and getting up to his feet. And honestly, I don't think Merab's going to force a lot of submissions either. I think he's going to be completely okay with taking Umar down and holding him in different positions because that's just the way it is in wrestling. They're usually content without having submissions. And that's where I could see Merab stealing the 3rd and 4th round, definitely. And then it's going to come down to that round 5. I honestly see this one going 2-2 into the final round. And then it's honestly who's ever fight at that point. I would say that Merab is going to have the momentum from the previous 2 rounds, and he's still going to find his way. I think, honestly, I may be wrong with this one because, again, picking against a Nurmagomedov is just a terrible idea. But I honestly do think Merab can win this fight, and I am going to pick Merab to win this fight via decision. I think his cardio is going to end up winning him this fight. I think his wrestling is still very, very good, and his pressure is going to be the difference here. I think Umar can find his way in the first couple rounds, but then Merab can come in and steal the later rounds because of his cardio. But there you guys have it. That's what I think of this co-main event at UFC 311. This fight is ridiculous. This entire card is honestly ridiculous. But let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with me, or have I gotten this one wrong? Has picking against a Dagestani gonna screw me up again? Maybe. We'll see. But I'm gonna stick with Merab. It's just my gut feeling. So thank you all for watching this video. Please consider liking and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Also, check out a bunch of the other videos that are going to be posted on here throughout the week. UFC 311, like I said, it's loaded, and I want to talk about a bunch of the fights on this card. So thank you very much for watching once again. I'll catch you all in the next one.